Bienvenue à Paris. I'm Michael St. Jean. I work for Red Hat in the partner ecosystem team. Just quickly, a little bit about my team. We work on cross-route initiatives, so I work with across all of our partner ecosystem to build initiatives throughout the organization. And also, for the past 4 or 5 years, I've been working with a team at Red Hat that are working on validated patterns. They're in the office of the CTO. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about some of the things that we're doing with validated patterns, but also in the context of how we're collaborating with partners. And so just as a quick step in, one of the reasons that we build all of these validated patterns is to address specific business goals. So we have a lot of people who are working on a lot of great technology, but we need to uplift that message and take it to the point of addressing specific business requirements and talk about the business value of all of these pieces of technology. One of the things that we look at specifically with the validated patterns, and this is about developing codified distributed engineering patterns, right? And so if you look at anytime you want to develop a distributed pattern, you have multiple pieces of code, you have multiple pieces of software that you have to build into that architecture. It becomes very difficult to, number one, build that, but once you do have that built, it's not necessarily repeatable, right? And so we build this into code to make it repeatable. We introduce a CI process so that once you do have that built, if you change any piece of that code, if you have a new version of any piece of that code, it goes through the CI process. And if there's anything in there, any interdependencies that might break the pattern, those are found out and you can fix those very quickly, okay? And it also makes it very extensible. So from the point of you can then take that code, deploy it in a core data center, deploy it at the edge, make that very repeatable. So that's essentially the reasons that we build these patterns, make them very highly reproducible, make them able to be maintained over time, configure all of the interacting pieces as code. Some of the benefits are bringing things from a proof of concept to production much more quickly. Everything is tested as a use case, as a holistic use case, and of course, we're open for collaboration. Just a quick point around what the value is, value depending on the persona. If you look at from a customer perspective, it really helps them to go into production faster. It gives them a trusted source of code that they can build upon. From a solution architect perspective, it makes it much easier for them to get to a point where, you know, they're about 60, 70% done with the configuration, and then they can add on the specifics that they need for their individual customer. Makes it much faster for them to do that proof of concept. And it also elevates their ability to have a discussion at a business level as opposed to being down in the weeds in the technology discussion all of the time. From a partner perspective, it gives us the opportunity to work with a lot of our partners, from software partners who might want to build their code into a validated pattern, to hardware partners who might want to showcase and demonstrate some of the work that they're doing with our products and be able to show the benefits, but also to our system integrator community. And I think that's a very big area where we see a lot of value, in that our system integrators can take these frameworks that we're developing, take them, fork them, and then develop what they need for their additional part of that solution for the clients that they're going to market around. And each practice manager may have something a little bit different that they want to bring to their clients, but they can take that framework and they're 60, 70% of the way there. So that's essentially what the validated patterns framework is about. I'm just going to go over a few examples, and we have a number of partners that are working with us. But with Intel, very recently, we developed a solution around AMX. AMX stands for Advanced Matrix Accelerators, or Extensions, sorry. This is an accelerator, it's a built-in accelerator in 4th and 5th generation Xeon processors. And this is designed for accelerating AI workloads. And so they worked with us around our multi-cloud GitOps validated pattern, as well as our medical diagnosis pattern. They also showcased this in the context of OpenShift AI. They continue to work on other accelerators like SGX, which is the software guard extensions. They'll be working on TDX, the trust domains extensions, QAT, which is the quick assist technology. QAT, what that does, essentially, if you're not familiar with it, is it helps with accelerating encryption and compression of networks and storage. The other two, SGX, TDX, they work differently, but they're security extensions. And so if you're interested in any of those things, actually, we'll have Intel will be at our booth at the Partner Pavilion. I think it's tomorrow, but they'll be talking about a TDX extension with Azure. So if you're interested in that, you could take a look at that. But essentially, where this fits in is, I think as Jeremy was speaking earlier, when you're looking at OpenShift AI, for example, you may need some very specialized hardware like GPUs or Gaudi to develop a lot of these models that you're working on. Maybe at the edge, you're looking at something like OpenVINO that allows you to do, to kind of balance your accuracy with the hardware that you have in place, right? But in the middle, at your core data center, if you have these 4th or 5th generation Xeon processors, scalable processors there, you can just use AMX acceleration to help with a lot of those workloads that you're working on. You can find more information on this blog post at red.ht/Intel pattern. There's links in there for all of the built-in accelerators if you want to see that, as well as the reference architecture. Another partner who's been developing work with the validated patterns with us is Portworx. They took our multi-cloud GitOps pattern, built in a persistent storage layer. They are continuing to work with us around rounding out the data services as part of that platform. You can find more information on that link. As well, if you take a look at Cisco and some of the work that they've been doing, they've actually done a lot of different work around their Cisco validated patterns. So I'll leave it at this, and you can follow some of these links. I just wanted to let you know as well that we do have a validated pattern SIG with OpenShift Commons, and you can find more information there. I'd love for you to join us. It's every other Tuesday. Should be today, but we're here today. So in 2 weeks, we will be there. Thank you so much.